Live from the Dr. Jerry Henderson Radio Complex, it's time for Card Guys. And now, here's your host, Anthony Schulte.
Good morning, or good afternoon, whenever you may be listening to this program. Thank you, Michael, for the intro as always, and welcome to Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk, Season 2, Episode 26. Coming up today, who's the best Detroit sports player to invest in when it comes to sports cards? Plus, the NBA playoffs tipped off over the weekend. We highlight Game 1 of each series. We go over the NBA awards finalists, which were announced last night. The Lions unveiled new uniforms Thursday. And we cap off the show discussing the Tigers' recent happenings. I'm Anthony Schulte, and joining me as always, my man, Ryan Donnelly.
We only got 2 shows left.
Technically, yes.
Today and Wednesday.
Of the season.
Of the season.
Not of Card Guys.
No, we're not. We're just getting started.
Yeah, we are just getting started.
It's one thing has not changed, and it's extremely early in the morning.
You just woke up, didn't you?
Yeah. Funny story. I preached on me and Michael. Normally, we show up late, so like 7:45, 7:50.
Crew call is 7:30.
Yeah, I take a little bit to wake up, and I told Michael, I saw him Saturday, I was like, we should get up earlier. And I was asleep, and Anthony gives me a text, and he goes, hey, Michael's here, and it's 7:10. I get up at 7:10 a.m. before show, because it takes me 20 minutes to get ready anyway. So he texts me, hey, Michael's here. I was like, oh, no. So I had to rush. And luckily, we're getting an early start. So
yes, we are.
Thank you for joining us if you're listening on air.
Indeed, indeed. All right, right next to me, my man, Mr. Michael Rosenkranz.
It's really crazy to think that there's 2 shows left. And
Of the season.
Of the season, yes. And as Ryan said, we are just getting started. We got something planned for the summer, y'all, don't we?
We do. We'll announce it on Wednesday's season finale. So some housekeeping before we get into 3 stars. Wednesday is our season finale, season 2 finale. There, we're going to, play some trivia. Ryan has a special segment he's been working very hard on. And we're going to make some announcements about the summer and what we have going on over the summer. Obviously, we won't be in the studio over the summer since we all live 2 hours away from Mount Pleasant. So while we're at home, we'll have some things planned. We'll have some in-real-life content. We'll have some card content. We're going to kind of dip into a lot of things over the summer to keep you guys engaged and keep the show rolling in preparation for Season 3, which will be premiering next semester in the fall, maybe around early September. So that's when our next season will start. But Wednesday, season finale show. It'll be fun, a little bit longer of an episode, so make sure you tune in for that on 101.1, same time as always, or here or there, same time as always, and 1 o'clock on YouTube. Starting us off today, 3 stars from the weekend. My 3 stars. 3, Ryan McMahon. Hit the game-winning walk-off for the Rockies in the first game. He had a bunch of strikeouts in that doubleheader, but he hit the walk-off single to win the game in that first game of the doubleheader. So Ryan McMahon also helped me win fantasy. Came back from 30 points down. Don't call it a comeback. My team always knows how to come back, I guess. And I'm the last unbeaten at 4-0. So I take great pride in that.
And I got to play you again.
Yep. And I don't play Ryan for the first time until a couple weeks. So it'll be a little bit until I play Ryan. My second star is just the Oklahoma City New Orleans game in general. We'll talk about it once we get to the NBA playoffs, but the playoffs so far have been a bunch of blowouts, and then Philly and New York, and then New Orleans and OKC. It was quite refreshing, the OKC-New Orleans game, just because they were trading blow for blow. And, I think OKC maybe won by 2 or 3, and the entire game, they were just trading. They were just tied, somebody has a 2-point lead. Tied, somebody has a 3-point lead. Tied, somebody has a 2-point lead. It was great to watch a gritty, hard-fought game. That's what the playoffs are, and hopefully this series, that's a testament to what this series is going to be in the future. And then my first star, I got to go with Damian Lillard. 35 points in the first half on great shooting. Didn't score in the second half. However, with the way Indiana played in that second half, first half they kind of didn't play to their strength. They didn't play their brand of basketball. Second half, they did. and they came back from down 30 to down 13. Without Damian Lillard's 35 in the first half, we could be looking at a different victor from that game. So huge, especially with Giannis Antetokounmpo out, Damian Lillard as my first star. Ryan, what do you got for us?
Well, I switched my third star around because I realized when you mentioned fantasy, I was like, oh, this guy did really well for me in fantasy. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try and find his stats because I don't know the stats off the top of my head. I believe this is it. Yes, it is. My third star is Zach Wheeler, who had a phenomenal game at the Dish on Saturday. 8 Ks, 2 balls, 2 walks, I'm sorry. 1 hit given up in the 8th. He was perfect through 8. No, I'm not perfect, but he had a no-hitter through 8. And overall, solid game for Zach Wheeler. He put up 28 for me in fantasy, so thank you so much, Zach Wheeler. My second star, Buddy Kennedy, who in his opening series debut this past yesterday for the Tigers, had his first career home run. Mm-hmm. Now fans are worried, and we'll talk about this later, that Buddy Kennedy has more home runs than Spencer Torkelson, which is a little concerning. However, we'll get into that in a moment. And then my first star, although he is a playoff player, I am going with Kobe White, who, yes, in the first playoff game, yes, they did not make the playoffs. However, in that first play-in game, 42 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists in 43 minutes. Not too bad. He is, spoiler alert, he is in the running for most improved.
Yep.
He would get my vote if Tyrese Maxey didn't exist. So those are my 3 stars.
Michael.
Yeah, so for my 3 stars, I'm going to start off with Buddy Kennedy. Had his 2-run bomb yesterday. He had a 3 RBI day with a 2-run shot and a sac fly to help the Tigers get that 6-1 win, a good divisional series win against the Twins. Now you got a tough series against the Rays coming up. We'll talk a little bit more about that once we get to the Tigers. My second star has got to be Tyler Glasnow again. He got me 29 points in fantasy. He went 8 innings, allowed 7 hits, no runs, no walks, 10 strikeouts.
Nice.
Glasnow's been dealing. He's been absolutely dealing. He's my second star. Now my first star has got to be the Winnipeg Jets Colorado Avalanche game. I first tuned in. It was on the cusp, right of it being 4-3, but they were reviewing that goal that took a while to get right, even though they gave it to him. And upon first glances, I really thought that the officials gave it to him. I'm just like, I don't know about that goal. But then they came back with it later in the game to get the official shot, and they did confirm that the puck did go completely across the goal line. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Good goal, but Colorado didn't quit. They scored with 30 seconds left to make it a 1-goal game, 7-6. They could have easily tied it. Mm-hmm. But Winnipeg held on, and NHL playoffs are going to be fun. Thank goodness that the Rangers upended the Caps in Game 1. Kind of shows you that this is a team that may not deserve to be in the playoffs, gentlemen.
A team that I think should have made it?
No, and I could genuinely see the Rangers beating the Capitals in 4 games.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I hope that happens.
See, the Wings could have given them a run for their money. They could have won a game, or
they
maybe
could have stolen
2.
a game at the pizza oven.
Yeah, like if the Red Wings are at this position, I'd say Rangers in 5. But because the Caps are in this position, Rangers in 4.
Yeah, we shall see what happens. But those are my 3 stars.
Some good stars over the weekend. Some good sports over the weekend. It's always great during playoff time for both NHL and NBA. We'll talk some NHL playoffs on Wednesday. Our card segment today: best player from each Detroit team to invest in. Now we're talking Lions, Tigers, Wings, Pistons. We were kind of talking pre-show about what we're kind of thinking here when it comes to best players to invest in. I think I'll break the ice with Cade Cunningham. Mm-hmm. I think he is a great player to buy it cheap right now. I obviously partake in those endeavors.
Tell them how many Cade cards you have.
170.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's insane.
So I dabble in Cade Cunningham basketball cards.
My man's building his personal collection.
Yeah, my PC's I'm getting one of those new briefcases that have like the little serial lock, and you make the little code.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
You put your cards into it, and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting one of those bad boys for my Cade PC. It's gotten to that level of got to keep it safe. But I think Cade Cunningham is a big one that, right now, especially not playing at the end of the season with an injury and where the Pistons were this season. He's a great player to buy at cheap. I think everybody from the 2021 class is a little bit low in value right now, so it's a good time to buy anybody from that class. Scotty, Franz, Jalen Green. I think he's a little bit higher than usual just because of that spectacular run he and the Rockets went on to almost make the playoffs, or the play-in, excuse me. But I think Cade Cunningham is the main one that folks should look at when they're at their local card store.
I'll do one from each team. My Piston, Cade.
Yeah,
obviously, especially his rookie card is so cheap right now.
Now, what do you think about Ivy or Duran?
I don't.
Do you think those are good investments right now?
Ivy, no. Duran, maybe. Ivy, might get traded if we get a smart president of basketball operations.
Devin Booker is probably not that happy in Phoenix.
Devin Booker, bring him home. Sorry, but
our first round pick this year, Jaden Ivey, and perchance like
Asar Thompson.
Not Asar. Maybe
wouldn't think
someone
Asar.
like big ticket J13.
Oh.
Ivy, first round pick this year, two future picks
for
big ticket for Booker.
See,
there's not much more you could get in free.
Right.
It's Tobias Harris in free agency, or you try to trade for somebody, and we're going to give Tobias Harris $30 million a year. Sorry, no Pistons, no Pistons, no Pistons, no Pistons.
I'll make this one quick thing. At this point, and I think I said this on like Monday or Wednesday show, I wouldn't mind having like a Josh Smith type trade. I wouldn't mind
trade.
At this like a trade for a big
signing.
Whatever.
We signed Josh Smith.
It's 7:30. It's 7:45.
What was that contract? Just for
bad.
Josh.
Sorry. Why do
we just got off that contract? By the way, he left in like 2015-16, and we just got off that contract a couple years ago. So Pistons contract. Let's see.
Or I wouldn't mind Brandon Jennings trade. That's what I meant.
In 2013, we signed him for 4 years, $54 million.
Oh,
in
geez.
2013, that's like the equivalent of 4 years, $200 million for. I'd say 4 years, $200 million for.
So 4 years, 54. He was doing $13.5 million a year.
He averaged.
That's really bad.
If math serves me right.
For the Pistons, in 2 years, he averaged.
It's fun to lose.
He averaged 14.5 points for basically $200 million.
Jeez. Oh, geez.
On incredibly 40%, 25% shooting splits.
Wow.
That's bad.
Wow.
Yeah,
folks.
that's bad.
I wouldn't mind like a Brandon. I mean, Brandon Jennings wasn't that bad in Detroit.
No, he just got injured.
Yeah. I mean, if he never got injured, we'd probably make the playoffs a year earlier, I'd say. But anyways, I would say no, don't invest in Jaden Ivey. If you want to invest in Jalen Duren, be my guest. But stock recently went down because of his injuries. But that's my Piston. I feel like Cade, especially because I feel like he's the only Piston that's like, he's going to stay.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Every Piston, even Duren, I'd say, is on the hot seat. But Cade Cunningham, surefire Piston to stay, especially because the 2021 draft class is so low to invest in. Act on it now.
I mean, also nobody on the Pistons is really good
except for Cade and
except for
maybe
Cade.
Duren.
Maybe Duren. Everybody else is stinky.
Yeah. My Red Wing, that's tough, but I have to say Raymond.
Oh, yeah.
I really think so because he's younger than Larkin, and I think he had a better season than Larkin, although Larkin, yes, he was phenomenal this year. Lucas Raymond was also phenomenal, and the stuff that I saw from Lucas Raymond this year is unbelievable, and he's in his second or third year, so invest in Lucas Raymond, especially to those who don't collect hockey like myself or Anthony, and I don't really know anybody that collects hockey, but if to those who do, invest in Lucas Raymond. My Lion, I know this might sound like a little reach, but I don't think it is, Sam Laporta, because rookie tight end, he was a top 10, borderline top 5 tight end this year.
That's true, yeah.
He's gonna be better. He's gonna be a steal in your fantasy draft, I assume. I want Laporta in my fantasy. Sam Laporta, man. He's a rookie. He was a rookie. He's going into his second year as a top 10 tight end in the NFL. He's only getting better from here. Iowa products, I do not get afraid of when it comes to degrading. And my Tiger, Max Clark. This should be easier because of farm systems and Bowman U. I'm going to go Max Clark. Buddy Kennedy now, I feel like. Dylan Dingler.
Malloy.
Justin Henry Malloy, sorry.
What about Jackson Job?
Yes.
Job,
You could say Wenzel Perez, too.
Mm-hmm.
Jace Young. There's a lot. And I feel like it's those farm system guys. We have a top 10 farm in the MLB.
Also, you said his name. I should have made this guy one of my stars. Wenzel Perez. What a weekend.
He's been heating up when he needs to, it's promising.
His speed is great. His bat is great. We'll talk about him a little bit later. You said Wenzel Perez. I was like, oh, I probably should have been one of my stars.
And if you want to go young, like main roster guy, Kerry Carpenter.
That's a good one. Yeah, he has a hot stick right now.
That's about it. Torkelson's stock is very low because of his performance, but he has, in my opinion, he's performed to the best of his ability. Although he's not hitting dingers like he did last year, still hitting solid doubles, which we'll talk about later. But those are my players to invest in.
Michael.
Yeah, I'm going to try and go one from each team as well. You might hear a lot of repeats, folks. Our apologies, but Pistons, Cade. Who else are you going to pick?
Everybody else is not that great of a basketball player.
No, Jalen Duren's maybe a walking double-double here and there,
Yeah.
but you got to go Cade, and hopefully he signs that Supermax this summer.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, right? And Red Wings, I got to go.
When I look at my phone in
Red
June
Wings,
and
I got to
see
go.
that Cade has requested a trade notification from Woj.
No. Do not put that in the
Shams is just going to come out with that headline.
I will be sad. You will not hear from me. I will not leave my room. I will not go to work. I will be in my room eating ice cream and watching Cade Cunningham highlights out of sadness. But continue.
Alrighty then. No, I just say that because
It'll be like a breakup.
I just say that because it sounds so accurate with you.
Yep.
And for the Red Wings, I got to go with Lucas Raymond. Yes, you can absolutely make a case for Dylan Larkin. I'd say it's a pretty even split between Lucas Raymond and Dylan Larkin. DeBrincat too, yeah.
Yeah.
He had a little bit of an off end of the season.
I don't think it was off. I think he had an off
middle of the
stretch,
season.
Middle of the
I should have
season,
said
and
middle
then
of the
he
season.
was fine towards the end of the year.
He
starting to
slumped,
yawn.
and then he sort of started coming back up at the right time.
I was starting to yawn, so I just said late season.
Right.
So I probably should have said middle season.
Right. But you can easily make a case, I think, for both Dylan Larkin and Lucas Raymond. For the Lions, I'm going to go Amon-Ra. He's going to get paid this offseason, and he's a dynamite receiver. That receiver room is solid with the Lions, and could we possibly see another receiver drafted late in the draft? Possibly.
I want Keon Coleman in the first round. I don't care what people say.
Keon Coleman would be huge in the first round. The big question, though, is, do you take a receiver that high if that's something that you need, though? Because right now you want to stress defense if you need to, like another D lineman opposite Hutch. I just don't know in my mind if you want to take a receiver that high, but I completely get your case about Keon Coleman. I'd love Keon Coleman on the Lions. I'm going to go Amon-Ra, though, with that card to get. Amon-Ra's going to get paid this offseason, and he's going to do great things again for the Honolulu Blue. And for the Tigers, I think I got to go with Max Clark. I mean, he's such a hot prospect. He's still developing. He's got a few years to develop in our farm system. But once he gets his call up to the show, I think he's going to be somebody that you got to watch out for because he's going to be awesome.
Indeed. All right, well, we're going to move on here to the NBA playoffs. A quick little transition there to the NBA playoffs. Just getting started this weekend after a play-in week that saw the Pelicans, that saw the... Oh, I'm blanking. No, don't say it. Don't say it.
What?
Who's the 7th seed in the West? I'm thinking. Lakers. Oh, good Lord. Lakers, Pelicans. Look at me.
Are you looking for the East?
Yeah, no, I'm in the Eastern
who's
Conference.
In the East?
Sixers and Heat.
Yes.
Sixers, Heat, Pelicans, and Lakers all winning the play-in games. We start our NBA playoff bracket, and it's safe to say that 90% of the NBA playoffs so far have been blowouts.
Yeah.
There's been 2 games that I want to highlight first that have been close, gritty, hard-fought, and just tough battles. And that is the 76ers and Knicks and Pelicans Thunder. Those are the two games that really jumped off the page for me throughout the weekend. Because if we go through here, the Cavaliers beat the Magic 97-83. The Timber Puppies beat the Suns 120-95. The Knicks beat the Sixers by only 7 points, 111-104. It's much closer throughout the game, though. The Nuggets beat the Lakers 114-103. The Celtics beat the Heat 114-94, and it was not that close throughout the entire game. The Clippers demolished the Mavericks 109-97. And the Bucks beat the Pacers 109-94, and it wasn't that close either throughout the game. So, obviously, on both sides of the bracket, you've got to start. I mean, every single home team has won. The higher seed has won in every single series so far. But Pelicans, Thunder, Knicks, 76ers, those are the 2 series to really look out for when you're watching the playoffs this year.
It's been a fun playoff. Saturday was very boring. It was very dry outside of that Knicks-Sixers game. That was fun. That was just pure fun. That's what I missed about. I don't really watch the NBA outside of the Pistons that much. Like, I'm not strictly like NBA, but I always watch the playoffs. As a kid, I'd always watch the NBA and always watch the playoffs. But now I'm just strictly playoffs and Pistons, which is a sad combo, but who cares? Oh man, that Knicks Sixers, the Garden is a scary place to play. Whether you're there for a Knicks game or whether you're there for a Rangers game, it's going to be scary.
New York fans are passionate.
New York fans, go New York, go New York, go! I really want the Knicks to win, and also with that Pelicans Thunder game. I did not watch last night because I was working on a 9-page paper. That took me about 5 hours to do. It was not fun. So I didn't get to watch any of the games last night. But from what I've heard, it was a very fun game. Shea had 35. Not much to say there. Shea's in the MVP discussion. I gotta stop spoiling these awards, even though you might know.
Shea had 28.
I saw somebody. That was Damian Lillard.
I was going to say, you might be thinking of Damian
Guys,
Lillard.
it's 8 a.m.
He had 39 minutes, which is closer to 30.
I got Damian Lillard and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander messed up. My apologies. I feel like this playoffs could get better. I really do. It's not. I think Clippers and the Mavericks. I thought that would be series of the playoffs of the first round, but I was very wrong. But I have a feeling that could still be the case. However, I still think that Boston is still a wagon, and I think that they're going to win the NBA Finals. I don't know if we're going to talk about that over the summer. Probably will, but other than that, it's going to be fun. I really do think. Again, it's very early in the first round. Everybody's gotten a game in their belts. We're starting game 2s today, and this playoffs, I have a feeling, could heat up really fast. I really think. And it's probably going to be the LA-Dallas series, and it's probably going to be Boston-Miami once Jimmy Butler gets healthy again.
Well, Jimmy Butler might not play. He might not be able to have time to come back, kind of like Zion, where they might get swept before he's available to play. And I don't see the Heat winning a game. I have an interesting stat here. How many field goals do you both... I mean, you probably looked at the screen. How many field goals did both these teams make?
Which one?
Pelicans, Thunder.
To be honest, I didn't see the collective stats, so I'm going in blind here. Total for both teams?
Total for each team. Total each team.
Mm.
So not combined. Separated.
I'm going to go like low 60s, 63.
Made or taken?
Taken. Or
Well,
are you taking?
taken-
Are you talking about made?
Made.
Oh.
See, what's half of 98?
Well, you're almost on the money. The Pelicans shot 96 shots, and the Thunder shot 85 shots.
Wow.
Half of 98 is... I'm blanking, guys.
It
It's
would be
really-
49.
Let me save some time here. They both made 37 shots each.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Each. They made the same amount of shots. 3-pointers. The Pelicans made more 3-pointers. They made 11. Thunder made 10. So you might think, well, shouldn't the Pelicans win by 3 then, since they made one more 3-pointer? 3 more free throws for the Thunder. This game was incredibly close. Like, incredibly close. The box score reads 17 points each in the first quarter, 26 points each in the second quarter. The Thunder won the third quarter 31-25, and the Pelicans won the fourth quarter 24-20. This game was so, especially in that first half, they were just trading blows. And that's what playoff basketball is. And that atmosphere at the Paycom Center, those Thunder fans, oh, man, that was a playoff atmosphere. They've been starving for playoff basketball. It's been a while since they've had a home game in the playoffs.
Imagine if the Thunder never moved to Seattle and that game was in Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle fans are even more passionate. But Pelicans Thunder was a great game. I want to talk about the Celtics because the Celtics are going to sweep the playoffs.
They're a wagon.
They're going to sweep the playoffs. The team that I watched yesterday, I mean, they threw in the bench. Sam Hauser gives you a couple threes. Peyton Pritchard continues his hot streak, gives you a couple threes, some good facilitation, right? Jaylen Brown had a couple great moves. Only had 17 points, but he had a couple great plays to start the game. Jason Tatum, incredible performance. Kristaps Porzingis. See, the thing about the Celtics the past couple of years, they haven't had size. They haven't had a real true center. They get rid of Marcus Smart. They bring in Kristaps Porzingis, and now they have a 7'3" demigod at center that can shoot over everybody, that can alter shots, that can protect the paint. You can't just drive in on the Celtics now like the Heat did last year, and the year and 2 years prior to that. The Celtics are a wagon. I wouldn't be surprised if they sweep the playoffs to get to the finals, or if they maybe lose 1 or 2 games. That is how good this Celtics team is. They're going to win the finals.
Oh, yeah.
They're better than any team in the West. Even though the West is so much more competitive than the East, the Celtics are better than any team in the West by a mile. I think it's not even close. Say the Thunder make it to the finals, 4-game sweep. Here, let's go through. Thunder make it to the finals, 4-game sweep. Pelicans make it to the finals, 4-game sweep. Mavericks make it to the finals, 4-game sweep. Clippers make it to the finals, gentleman's sweep. The Clippers will win 1 game. Where is the other? And, of course, the game goes away. Thank you, Google. All right. Suns make the finals, 4-game sweep. Timberwolves make the finals. I say the Timberwolves can squeak out 1 game, gentleman's sweep. Lakers make the finals, 4-game sweep. Nuggets make the finals. They'll win 2 games. The Nuggets will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's
Like-
any team to compete with the Celtics, it is the Nuggets.
Because the Nuggets are built, they're championship tested. Not to say that the Celtics can't be championship tested. None of them have won a championship other than Drew Holiday. On that roster, I'm pretty sure nobody else has won a championship. Maybe Svi Mikhailuk with the Lakers, but I don't think so. I think he got traded from the Lakers before they won their championship. So
was he on the Pistons?
I think he was. I think he was on the Pistons that season and then left.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
Sorry.
But yeah, Michael, any thoughts on the NBA playoffs?
The Thunder Pelicans game was one of the best playoff games that I've ever seen in at least my time watching the NBA playoffs. And wholeheartedly agree with the atmosphere because those Thunder fans, man, they were rocking. They were rocking. That was just throwback to me back when the Thunder had Westbrook. And,
yes,
they try to make it.
Durant, Ibaka.
So many.
Mitch McGarry.
That's
Mitch
my
McGarry.
guy!
Kevin Durant, Serge Ibaka.
Mitch, I miss Mitch McGarry.
Just
Mitch
so
Newman,
many solid players overall. And I mean, you have a very, very stout team with the Thunder. I mean, SGA continues to dominate.
He's an MVP finalist for a reason.
Yep, he is. We'll get to that in a second. Celtics, I don't see anybody beating them. I made my case, I think, a couple shows ago saying the Knicks could be a sleeper, but seeing this, Celtics are going to win it all.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like to admit it, I definitely think Celtics are going to win it all. There's no stopping them. I mean, there's some players on here who just haven't really felt that experience to win a championship. So, I mean, it's like you want it for the players, too.
That's exactly where I am.
I mean, has Kristaps won a championship? I was going to say I didn't think so. So, I mean, he wants one badly. And, I mean, Jason Tatum, triple-double, 23, 10, and 10. Derek White, 23 and 4. Underrated for sure. I mean, Celtics, yeah, I really think they're going to win it all. I'm excited for the playoffs going forward, and I think it's going to be really competitive with some of these even match teams, particularly the Pelicans and the Thunder. But in terms of championship stuff, I think Celtics got it.
I was watching the Celtics yesterday, and I said, this is the only season I will root for the Celtics just because I want the players to win. I want Tatum to get a championship. I love Jaylen Brown. I want Jaylen Brown to get a championship. I want Kristaps to get a championship. I want all those guys to get a championship, right?
Derek White hasn't got one, right?
No.
Peyton Pritchard, I think.
Peyton Pritchard hasn't.
Hasn't.
Hauser hasn't.
Kornet
hasn't.
I feel like
Xavier Tillman.
You are right.
Xavier Tillman.
I do not like the Celtics at all, but I am rooting for them to win. I want my boy Svi to win a championship. That's it. Svi Mikhailuk. I'm just kidding. I respect the players on the Celtics. I love Tatum. I love Brown. I love Porzingis. I love Holiday. But then when they become a wagon and they win multiple championships, then that's when I start to not like them again. I just want them to win. It's like the Warriors that one year, like in 2015. Like, oh, these are cool. I want them to win. And then they won, and then they became a dynasty, and I don't want that.
I said during the broadcast yesterday, the Celtics game, I was like, I'll never root for the Celtics again. Just give them this championship this year, and then after this year, never root. I never want them to win again because I don't like the Celtics. It's not in my blood. However, we do have some NBA award finalists now. These were announced yesterday before the Pacers and Bucks game. So for NBA Clutch Player of the Year, one of the newer awards, you've got 3 nominees: Stephen Curry, DeMar DeRozan, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander are the 3 nominees for Clutch Player of the Year. For Defensive Player of the Year, Bam Adebayo, Rudy Gobert, and Victor Wembanyama. Bam Bam Bamba. NBA Most Improved Player, you got Tyrese Maxey, Alperen Şengün, and Kobe White. For NBA Most Valuable Player, you've got Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Nikola Jokic. For NBA Rookie of the Year, and this isn't even a competition, Chet Holmgren, Brandon Miller, Victor Wembanyama, and if any of these 3 are in any other year, they win. Yeah. Any of these 3 in any other rookie year, and they win.
If Chet was healthy last year, he'd probably win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sixth Man of the Year, Malik Monk, Bobby Portis, and Nas Reed. NBA Coach of the Year, Mark Daigneault, Chris Finch, and Jamal Mosley. I'll give my picks real quick for clutch player of the year. Give me Stephen Curry. He always came up in the clutch. He's always the guy you can depend on. I mean, it's between him and Shea. DeMar's just there because they needed a third player, I guess. Defensive player of the year. Give me Victor Wembanyama. He did things this rookie season that no other defender has done ever as a rookie. Mm-hmm. Not even as a rookie, just in general. Nobody's done some of the things Victor's done on the defensive end. Don't let that rookie tag fool you. He's defensive player of the year. For most improved, give me. See, I love Maxey. Maxey's one of my favorite players. It's not a Piston. However, Alperen Şengün is incredible. He took over as the face of that franchise over Jalen Green. So give me Şengün. As much as I love Maxey, we could kind of see it with Maxey last year. Of course, he butted into a superstar. I would not be mad if Maxey won. I want Maxey to win, but if I'm looking solely based off my eye test and who is definitely the most improved, nobody expected Alperen Şengün to become literally Nikola Jokic. I'm going to guess 2.0 because he's just getting better. And he plays a lot like Nikola Jokic. For MVP, I'm coming back to MVP. Rookie of the Year, Victor Bam Bam Bamba. Sixth Man of the Year, Naz Reid. And Coach of the Year, Mark Daigneault. I mean, he took this Thunder team to a 1 seed. You can't ignore that. I think my second place would be Jamal Mosley, just because this Orlando Magic team is really fun and they came out of really nowhere. So he'd be my second place. But for MVP, Luka Doncic, it's all three of these players deserve it. And that's what's so tough. I think you can eliminate Shea. Mm-hmm. Just because, yes, you're the 1 seed, but he's not Luka and he's not Jokic. He's still that step below those two, in my opinion. So now it's coming down to Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic. Give me Luka Doncic as my MVP. He is averaging, 33, 34 points a game, almost a triple-double. I mean, he scored 70-plus. Without Luka this year, the Mavericks are maybe a play-in team. Maybe. They're probably out of the playoffs without Luka. Jokic, I mean, yes, Jokic runs the Nuggets. They were a higher seed, but without Jokic, this Nuggets team is probably still a 6 or a 7 seed. So, give me Luka Doncic. Those are my picks.
Okay, so my picks, make them short and sweet. Clutch Player of the Year. I don't really like that award because I'm old school. Give me DeRozan. I know that he's your last place guy, but just DeRozan's time in Chicago has been nothing but clutch, and he deserved it last year over De'Aaron Fox. So DeMar DeRozan is my pick for Clutch Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert. Enough said. The Timberwolves are the best defensive team in the NBA, and Rudy Gobert is the forefront of that. Most improved, as much as I agree with your Şengün pick and I agree with your points, I am going Tyrese Maxey because he made an all-star team, because he carried the Sixers, because without Embiid, he carried the Sixers to the play-in. And he's averaging, 29, 30 a game? I don't know, high 20s. I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but he deserves it. Embiid found his number 2 guy. It's not James Harden.
He's averaging 26.
Oh, well, still high 20s. It's not James Harden. It's not Ben Simmons. It's not Robert Covington, Sir Robert. It's Tyrese Maxey. He finally found his guy after almost 10 years of playing in the NBA. My most improved player, I'll get to last. Rookie of the Year, Victor Wembanyama. Sixth Man of the Year, as much as I want to go, Naz Reid. I am going Malik Monk.
Malik Monk?
I love Malik Monk, dude.
Wow.
He underrated player since he's gotten in the league. I know he wasn't the shades of what he was back in Kentucky. I still love Malik Monk.
I think it's a race between Bobby and Nas.
I'm sorry. I have to go with the odd man out. I've always been a Malik Monk fan, even since he was in college.
That's fair.
Malik Monk is my guy. I'm glad that he's finally getting the respect that he is. Although the Kings did not have the season that they expected to have, I still love Malik Monk, and he and this Kings team finally figured it out. Coach of the Year. As much as I want to go with OKC's coach, I'm going to go with Jamal Mosley. Magic had very low expectations this year. Another rebuilding year, another repacing year. Nobody expected them to make the playoffs. I didn't expect them. I expected them to make like borderline play in like the 11th or 10th seed. The 5th seed, very impressive, and that's why Jamal Mosley is my pick. And then MVP, I am going Luka Doncic. 33 a game. Come on now, like
you're looking at most valuable player. You take either one of these two. I mean, you take any of them off their team, obviously they're going to take a significant hit, but Luka is just so important to that team. Michael.
Yeah, so clutch player of the year, I mean, I got to give it to Steph. I mean, you want to talk about a player that's clutch, has ice in his veins. I couldn't think of anybody else other than Steph. I mean, Shea's outstanding. DeMar DeRozan's been outstanding this year, but I mean, if you want to talk about just cold-blooded clutch player, it's Steph, in my mind. Defensive player of the year, I'm in between Gobert and Wemby. This is really tough. I think I'm going to go Rudy Gobert. I mean, Minnesota's defense has been stout. They've been solid all season long, and I really think that consistency is what's going to get Rudy Gobert Defensive Player of the Year. Most improved player, I can get rid of Kobe White. Sorry, Ryan. I'm going to go Şengün. I think it's going to be very close between Tyrese Maxey. I honestly think Tyrese Maxey will win it, but I mean, to see what Şengün has done with the Rockets and Anthony, as you put it, take over the face of the franchise, leapfrogging above Jalen Green.
And Jabari Smith.
I mean, that's big. And Şengün's going to be a major star going forward. He already is a major star, but he's going to get better as time goes along. Rookie of the Year, Wembanyama, no question. Sixth Man of the Year.
I got to dig into your NBA lore for this one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who I want.
Naz Reid.
I'm leaning towards him. Naz Reid.
Hey, he's got a towel. They had a towel giveaway for Naz Reid.
They showed the towel. Fun fact, they showed it at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Did they really show it at WrestleMania?
During the tag team matches, they had a guy, or there was a guy in the crowd in the front row, and he has a Naz Reid towel. And
this Naz Reid period.
It's incredible. I
want one.
How much is a Naz Reid
I want
towel?
one for my wall. Just Naz Reid.
I just bought one, period.
Just get some thumbtacks and hang it on your wall.
Naz Reid.
All right, Coach of the Year.
And then Coach of the Year, I think I got to give it to Mark Daigneault. I mean, propelling the Thunder to a 1 seed. The Western Conference this year, super competitive, and I love that.
And the fact he got a 1 seed with a younger team. And don't forget about the Thunder. They have a vault of first-round picks. So think about this team, and now they're about to go use those picks to go get some help. Perchance Devin Booker.
I just realized that Paul George and Russell Westbrook are on the same team.
Yeah. Once again.
Why did that just click with me?
Also, James Harden and Russell Westbrook are on the same team, too.
Yep.
Why did that just click now?
That just clicked right now.
I don't know.
Kawhi Leonard and James Harden are on the same team. Or not James Harden. Kawhi's with the Clippers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why was I tripping for a second? Okay.
I was trying to think of if Kawhi
Westbrook
and Westbrook
Harden
played together.
Westbrook and Harden did play together
They did.
in Houston and OKC. And then I forgot about when you said the vault of first-round picks, I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot that Paul George and Russell Westbrook played in OKC together. Mm-hmm. It was such a forgettable time period.
It really was.
Even though Paul George was top 3 in MVP voting that year.
I remember that. All right, MVP. Speaking of MVP.
Yeah, the Thunder's going to be a scary team going forward. MVP. I can get rid of Shea, even though he's been outstanding. It's definitely between Jokic and Doncic. Give me Luka. I mean, how can you get any better when you're averaging a triple-double pretty much per game?
Yep.
I think Luka's got it in the bag. I mean, I would say it's not going to be unanimous because, I mean, Jokic is the face of the Nuggets, and it's a different team without him. But it's easily going to be, in my mind, Luka's going to take MVP, runner-up's going to be Jokic. Mm-hmm. No doubt.
All right, so those are that's kind of our mini ballot for the NBA awards. Those will be announced towards the latter end of the playoffs. Moving on, the Lions got some new threads and folks.
They're beautiful.
These bad boys are smoking. As they'd say in The Mask, smoking. Because these bad boys, oh man, I'm putting them on the screen right now. We're going to start off with the blue, Honolulu blue jersey. This is basically Barry Sanders in a jersey, if you think about it. All I see with this is Barry Sanders. You've got the white lettering. You've got the silver around the white lettering, the block lettering, paying homage to the old school jerseys that you think about when you see Barry Sanders, and then the Honolulu blue. It's classic, it's chic, it's modern, it's a beautiful twist, and you've got the blue face masks back, which are incredible. They really tie in the jersey. What are our thoughts on the blue jersey?
It's my second favorite. They're beautiful. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. The Lions, from what I noticed, they're taking a Jets approach. The Jets went back to the throwbacks only. Instead of having one, they had all of their jerseys be throwbacks. These jerseys are like the same thing, kind of. I see that in the blue, and I kind of see that in the whites. But the blues are so beautiful. I never noticed that the blue face covering's back. Yep. I just noticed
blue
that.
Blue face mask.
Oh, wow. Oh, man, that's awesome, but it's so good.
Yeah, the blue jerseys in my mind it's kind of like a refresh in my mind almost, because you got that 90s feel back in the Barry Sanders days, and you're taking a modern approach to it with the blue face mask. You're adjusting the font, and I think a big win for all of these jerseys is when the franchise, you remember that WCF on the franchise? They got rid of that. That's a big win.
They put it on the back of the helmet now.
All respect to William
did they really?
Clay Ford.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it belongs. All respect to William Clay Ford, and this is his team. However, it's time we do away with the patch, and we finally did, and now it's a helmet sticker. Look, I get the helmet sticker. I respect that. I like that. I don't think it belongs on the jersey anymore, and they got the first thing I looked for with these jerseys was there's still the William Clay Ford logo on.
Yeah, the WCF, I am so happy that they got rid of it. But I think the Blues, I got to go with Ryan. I think they're my second favorite.
All right, let's go with all of our least favorite, I assume, the whites.
The whites.
Yeah.
Now, the whites, they still look good.
Yeah.
You've got the Detroit lettering. You've got the blue block lettering with the silver around it. You've got it's just the away jersey. There's nothing ever special about an away jersey, but I like them. Looks good on Aleem right here in this picture I got pulled up. Any thoughts on the white?
They look good. My only critique, take away the mini Detroit.
I think they should add that Detroit to the blue.
No. I don't. I think take away all the lettering, even with the black ones, the black jerseys.
We'll get to those in a minute.
I'm not a fan of just the Detroit and the Lions on it. I mean, they still look good. The white looks really good. Just take off the lettering. I don't like the lettering on both the black and the white jerseys.
I disagree. I love the lettering. I think the lettering ties it in. I think that's the one thing that our jerseys have been missing recently is the lettering, and I was kind of wishing that the lettering would be on the blue as well.
Yeah, the lettering's interesting because, I mean, this is what you see really on high school football teams, which is kind of what I took away from it. So the lettering, I don't know if I necessarily agree with the lettering, but, I mean, it is what it is, and it's there. Another big takeaway I have with the white jerseys, why does it have to be with the blue pants?
It should be with the silver.
It's got to be with the silver. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to stay consistent,
go with the old school. Yeah.
With the old school especially, go with the silver pants. Don't go with the blue.
And not even a matte silver. Make them the shiny silver again.
There you go.
Now those would be clean.
There you go. I mean, I think it's just a bad contrast between the white jerseys and the blue pants. So, I mean, yeah, I don't like the whites as much. They are still a solid jersey, but the blue pants is really the big, turn off for me when it comes to the white jerseys. But we've got our favorites to get to, don't we, gentlemen?
These are the fan favorites. These are the best uniforms in the entire National Football League. Ladies and gentlemen, the black alternates.
Beautiful.
Not only do you have the black jerseys back in Detroit, you've got the blue, the vibrant Honolulu blue on the black. It pops with the silver around the block lettering. But you have the new permanent blue helmet with the black lion on the both sides of the helmet, the black striping down the middle of the crown, the black face mask. It is beautiful. It's a work of art. I'm just putting it out there. I'm getting a black Hutchinson jersey, a blue Goff jersey, and I'm getting one of the blue helmets to wear during games. Because that is how high I am on this. Is the best jersey in the NFL. Best jersey in the NFL. I don't think there's any competition either. I really do think it's the best. And I think they should wear it at every home game. Wear the blues on the road. I know you can't, but... Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh. These are beautiful. I still... I looked this up, and while we were talking about our NBA award prediction, I just can't stop looking at them.
Yep.
They're so beautiful. I'm getting a black Hutch and a blue DPJ jersey because I love my Michigan men.
Yeah, DPJ didn't he sign here again?
He did
For another year?
I love my Michigan guys, and I got to rip my Michigan guys in Lions uniforms. But again, take away the Lions on top of the letterings, and this jersey's beautiful. This is the best uniform in the NFL. The helmets with the vibrant blue and the black stripe going down the middle and the black lion on the side.
Oh, my goodness.
The draft hats are black. The story behind these uniforms are sweet, where president of football operations basically told Dan Campbell, hey, we'll give you the black jerseys. You just got to win the division first.
Campbell did that. He's all right, bring on the black jerseys.
Yes. And I've never been more happy. Thank you, Dan. I love you.
This is another big culture shift that Dan Campbell is trying to do with these black jerseys, because he was on that infamous 2008 Lions team where they went 0-16, and they wore those black jerseys during that time.
Yeah.
And Campbell says, look, bring back the black jerseys. I don't care about the past. I care about the now and what we're doing. Lions coming off of a division win last season.
Championship game
appearance. And, again, just another way that Dan Campbell is trying to rebuild the culture. It's already built up, but he's taking it to new heights. These black jerseys, I texted my dad the first thing, and the very first thing he told me when I told him the Lions have the new uniforms, he says, I love the black jerseys.
Yep.
And I said, I agree with you. And again, folks, for those of you that don't know, in my 21 years on this planet, I have never owned a jersey, which is sad to think about with me being an avid sports fan. I got to pick up one of these jerseys, whether that's going to be Goff, Hutchinson, Amon-Ra. I mean, there's so many options out there.
Yep.
And I'm going to pick one of these up one of these days. Trust that. I love the black jerseys. They are hands down my favorite of these three right here.
I'm picking up a black Hutch jersey, and I'm picking up a City Connect Torque jersey.
City Connect Carpenter for me.
Bro, I completely forgot the City Connect.
I think it's between...
Those are dropping soon.
When I get... It's May 6th when they're coming out. I think for me it's going to be between Torque, Scoobs, or Marcana.
Scooby-Doo and If they don't have Carpenter, I'm going Scooby-Doo because he's the only player I can justify spending $150 on a jersey on. But speaking of those City Connects, the Detroit Tigers. By the way, we're going to talk NFL Draft on Wednesday, so make sure to tune in.
I forgot it was this week.
We're going to on Thursday
this week
in the D. So we're going to preview the NFL Draft, talk about what we think the Lions are going to do, talk about the top selections. J.J. McCarthy's stock is rising, so make sure you tune in for that, Grandpa. I know you want to hear some NFL talk. So we got that on Wednesday on the season finale. However, the Detroit Tigers were in play yesterday, and they took the series against the Twinkies real quick. They won 6-1 off a huge first inning, third inning, and then they added some insurance runs throughout the latter stages of the game. When the Tigers get cooking early, usually good results happen from it. Buddy Kennedy, I said Bunny. Buddy Kennedy with a 2-run shot. Torkelson almost hit his first home run. He was mere centimeters from his first home run, but it took a bounce off the top of the fence out in left center. Torkelson, no need to fear, folks. There's nothing to worry about when it comes to Spencer Torkelson. You don't need to hit home runs to be positive. I think making him DH yesterday is really going to help him fielding-wise. Just give him a day off from it, recoup, fix the things you need to fix. But also, I think he's going to be the perfect six-hole hitter. That's not what you want from your first overall pick. You thought was going to be hitting dingers. However, if he doesn't figure out the home run thing, and he just keeps hitting doubles, he keeps hitting singles, just making contact with the ball, he's just not driving it out. Either a 2-hole or a 6-hole hitter is perfect for him. I don't think he's a 3-hole hitter as of right now. Now, he's starting each game, he's getting more and more and more power under his swing. Maybe he hits out his first, especially in Trop. Trop's an easy place to hit in. So, other than the catwalks up top, but rather short fences. So, maybe we see our first torque bomb of the year this series. I think we do. He's due for it. But, no need to fear about torque. He's still hitting the ball. He's still driving in runs. He's had a bunch of productive games at the plate recently. It's just people want home runs strictly from him. And this isn't Miguel Cabrera. It's Spencer Torkelson.
Exactly. This is a young bat that still needs adjusting. One of the hardest things is to hit a baseball. It's one of the most difficult things in all of sports to do.
Yeah.
And just watching Torque yesterday and hearing it on the broadcast from Benetti and Simo, so glad they're back in the booth.
Yes,
as much as I love Dan Dickerson, I'll always love Dan Dickerson in the booth. It was fantastic to hear him on the TV side.
I think Benetti and Craig Monroe, when Craig Monroe's on the air, it needs to be with Benetti, because with Dan Dickerson, he cut him off a bunch of times, and there just wasn't that connection, that chemistry there. But when Benetti's in the booth, they're just having a good time. I think Simo should strictly be with Benetti when he's on the air, and then have Pena or Petrie. I love Dan and Dan squared.
There you
Dan
go.
Petrie, Dan Dickerson. They were great together.
They were.
At Comerica Park a couple weeks ago. But
anyways, this is a young bat that still needs time to adjust. Now, I know, again, we talk a lot about Detroit sports fans and how a lot of them are greedy and a lot of them are spoiled. Guys, Spencer Torkelson is a young bat. And listening to the broadcast yesterday, they were talking about all the adjustments that Torque has made in the batter's box and how he's feeling a lot better and a lot more comfortable in the batter's box, and we're seeing that solid contact that he's making. And we talk about him getting Comerica, or players getting Comerica. Torque, I guess you could say, got targeted.
yeah,
If you will.
he got targeted.
He
yep.
just missed that first home run. I think he's due, especially at a place like Tropicana. But Torque needs time to adjust. He will adjust, and there's plenty of time to do it in. So have no fear.
Torque is overdue, I'd say.
Yeah.
Very overdue. Hate to break it. Oh wait, never mind. I thought they were playing at home. They got. What am I trying to say? Torque is very much overdue. I think he got Comerica the most out of any Tiger so far this year, and he's been target fielded this year. Don't fear, he's still a doubles machine.
He is.
Like our friend Isaac Haffenden, friend of the show, and hopefully friend of yours, he basically says that Spencer Torkelson will hit his daily double,
Yep.
and then he'll fizzle out. If
He'll strike out twice, he'll ground out once, and he'll hit his daily double.
he'll have a double a game.
The Spencer Torkelson experience.
And that, at this point, that's all we need. I'm not one of those fans who's like, oh, we need him to hit only home runs. Chill out.
He's not Kyle Schwarber.
He's not Kyle Schwarber. He's not prime Miguel Cabrera. He's not Prince Fielder. But I think Detroit fans need to realize that we don't have to hit a home run every time.
Yeah.
A pop out fly that can turn a run could help. I really do. And I really think Torque is due, especially at the Trop. I've been there before. The dimensions are not that hard to hit a home run in, and I feel like this series is the series.
I agree. So Tigers beat the Twins, take the series, improve to 12-10, third place in the American League Central. They have the Rays tonight at 6:50, so we get a little extra long Tigers Live, a little more Keats.
We get Tigers and Monday Night Raw at the same time tonight.
That is true. So 6:50 each game this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday series, 6:50 each game. A little bit of an odd start, but nonetheless, Tigers, Rays will be a fun series, two evenly matched teams. That is all we have for today's show. Thank you for tuning in to Card Guys Season 2, Episode 26 on 101.1 The Beat, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. Tune in Wednesday for our Season 2 finale. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be extravagant. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be a fun show.
We're all going to be in suits. We're going to have party. We got champagne. We're going to have so much fun.
It's gonna be a fun one. You don't want to miss it.
It's like New Year's Eve or senior prom. That's what it's going to be.
It's going to be bittersweet.
It's going to be bittersweet.
We're not going
to
do that.
Just the beginning of our summer adventures and what we'll be experiencing over the summer.
No doubt.
For my good buddies Ryan Donnelly and Michael Rosenkranz, I'm Anthony Schulte saying so long, everybody.
Love you, Mom and Dad. Only one episode left.